We're live.
Hey guys, welcome to yet another stream. This is the TelkomDGL Community Shield that we're bringing you tonight. Exciting series that's gone down so far. Been amalgamation of the finest teams that DGL has to offer so far. Eden coming in at the top side of the bracket looking hot. They're going up against DDC Dominion in the other upper bracket semi-final game. But tonight we'll be covering the damage control against Noobs match. And this is going to be one of the bigger ones that we've covered so far this year, I would say, as the competition starts to fire up. And as always, I'm joined by my co-caster in crime, Flaz. How's it going, man?
Hello, hello. Yeah, as you said, I mean, this is going to be, it's set to be an excellent match. I mean, we've got two of South Africa's best teams playing here. Both definitely more than deserving of their Premier Division titles. And it's something that I've been really looking forward to seeing. I know these teams battled it out, was it a week ago in Premier
It
Division?
was a week ago to this date.
Yeah, I believe.
And yeah, they it was a closer game than the scoreline would have you imagine. Well, I mean, the scoreline was 2-1 as far as I can remember, but as far as I can tell, it was a very close game and just a bit unfortunate on damage control side. I know they were having some issues with some of their players, and now that we're past the patch stage, I hope we don't have any sort of player disconnects or anything unfortunate like that, and we have a nice clean game, because these are two quality sides and probably my pick for two of the top three teams at the moment in South Africa.
Yeah, I must agree. And talking about a new patch, actually, we've got some very interesting changes to, well, almost how the meta as a whole is going to work. We might be seeing something completely different tonight. I know the chances are we won't be seeing an Ana coming out, just because I think teams are a little bit hesitant around her. I mean, her healing hasn't changed. It's just she's no longer got that sustain she used to have, where before she used to be able to sit at the back, and if somebody came and got her, I mean, she could sleep them and probably deal with them. So it's going to be a little bit different with that. But now, I know you're going to be the expert on this, is Winston's changes.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of new changes since these two teams even met the last time, so it will be quite fascinating. The Winston change is definitely one of the bigger ones, and we're starting to see it play out almost immediately in a lot of games, where the fact that his bubble now goes on cooldown immediately once he uses it rather than when it expires means that he's going to be able to maneuver around that a lot more often. He's going to be jumping in a lot more often, and it's going to work very nicely into those existing dive compositions that we saw with him that he was being used already in. And also, I mean, even defensively, to create a lot of chaos in the attacking line that's coming at you. He's just very difficult to deal with if he's positioned correctly around that bubble. And of course, the fact that someone like Anna is not going to be doing sort of that pseudo DPS kind of role now as well. That might play into his hands as well if he's jumping into an enemy backline.
Yeah, I must agree. I almost think at the moment it's the meta of the dive comp, although, I mean, especially with heroes like Zenyatta now, I've been seeing it played a lot more. Because Ana's not played as much, Farah has actually played a lot more because now she has a little bit more control over the sky. Heroes like Tracer and Genji we might even be seeing again, the flankers, especially from the side of Noobs. I know, is it Light or Life? I always forget.
Light.
Light is an absolutely
On Noobs.
amazing
Yeah.
Genji player. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing him bringing that out tonight.
I mean, we say that, but I would say his signature hero is McCree. But they seemingly have two Genji players on their side, so they are interchangeable in that respect. So it's always great to see the Noobs DPS combination coming out the way that they chop and change between them and pull them off, pull off those combinations so well, despite how frequently they are changing. And really, I think that's going to be the challenge for DC tonight, whether they're able to deal with that. We've said it pretty much every time that we've casted a game where Noobs has played is teams need to look to shut down that DPS combo.
Yeah, no, it is something very scary to go up against. And this maybe is where we'll be seeing changes. Now, another interesting thing is Orisa is now a playable hero, and from what I understand and from reading the rules, in fact, she is perfectly fine to be played in tonight's game. So we might just be seeing Orisa come out tonight.
Yeah, so there wasn't a quick enough ruling from the committee side. I think it was a bit of a surprise. Well, not really surprise, but sort of the fact that it released so quickly. There wasn't really a ruling on it in time for DGL, so it looks like pretty much it's going to default to the heroes available. Go ahead and pick it. I think thankfully the hero, to me, it's just my opinion at this stage, doesn't seem all that overpowering. It's certainly an interesting combination of abilities that she has, but I don't think it's going to be something game-changing at this stage. I mean, the fact that the hero is very slow makes her quite a big sort of DPS, sort of a damage soaker. So it's going to work into the compositions that for the other team that goes kind of DPS heavy, where they can build ultimates quite quickly off her. So I mean, yeah, it's kind of a risky pick given that it's so early into release.
Yeah, I do agree. It is, but it's still, she's an interesting hero. I very much like the way you can play around her and use her to your advantage for that kind of stuff. I've been playing quite a few quick play games recently, and at the moment it literally just is World of Shields. You break the Reinhardt shield and you walk straight into an Orisa shield, and by the time you've broken that, Reinhardt's got his shield back up to 2000. So it is quite a frustrating thing to deal with, especially when she can mini grab every 8 seconds. It is and it's a very, very interesting hero, and what I want to see is her played well, because she's a very, very mechanical hero. I mean, if you got excellent mechanics, you'll be an excellent Orisa, or at least what I feel. And in the hands of someone like Grifflet, who is an absolutely amazing tank player, or Sheep as well, we could be seeing her played properly tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be cases to be made for picking her in future, maybe even fairly soon. It's quite difficult at some stages to push into a defensive lineup that's got an Orisa when you have to close a very large distance in a short space of time. So one example I can think of is trying to engage head-on into the Anubis first point when the defense is on the high ground. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of speculation at this stage. I think we need to see more game time out of her first. And it looks like we've got the map lineup at least, now that the bans have been done in private. We see that the maps in this order are going to be Nambani, Kings Row, and then Route 66 for tonight.
Yeah, so Nambani, a map we've seen, like, every time I see it, I say, oh, we don't see this map often, but we actually end up seeing it, like, almost every time. So Nambani's going to be an interesting map going on too. In fact, we're going on to it first. It's a map I think we've seen both teams on.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, we haven't seen DC play on it, as far as I remember, but we've definitely seen a lot of Noobs on it, and I would say probably leaning a little bit towards Noobs for this first map. They definitely have a lot of interesting plays up their sleeve when it comes to attacking, and interestingly, they kind of play the defense similar way that they play their offense in how aggressively they move around and jump on targets together.
Yeah, and straight out the bat, we're seeing Light on the Genji, so you were saying that he'd be on the McCree, but I think I get that one. Leica Luke on his Soldier, NLT on the Ana, so okay, that's where I lose. In fact, both teams have an Ana, Leica Luke and Pac-Man on the Anas. Nyanfu on the Zen, Sheep on the Zarya, and Grifflet on the Monkey.
Yeah, look, I think regardless of what sort of strategy Noobs is playing towards, I think they're generally always trying to maintain a Genji for most of their rounds. So if it's not like a Luke on the Genji, then chances are it's good. It's likely that we're going to see Lights take up that role, and of course on Nambani, Soldier working nicely from the high ground. So they've opted for that combination, and I think it's a tried and tested one for them, but where they have the Zenyatta and the Soldier doing the long range engaging, and then the Winston and the Genji just getting up in your face with the assistance of the Zarya shield. So let's see how DC is able to deal with that.
Yep, and straight out the bat, Cyberman coming out with the Pharah, and he's going to be looking for that high ground. He wants those early picks, and even if he can just knock them off, although unfortunately there he just knocked them back into the room, not quite what he was looking for. But already, like a Luke, managing to take down the Pharah, doing his job as Soldier, getting healed up there nicely by Pharah as well. In fact, it's a strange positioning here from the side of damage control. I mean, not damage control, sorry. Noobs here, but anyway, it looks like they're in the right place here. They're ready to take on this fight as damage control coming in from the back, coming through actually back to the side room. Did they go all the way around the point? I think I missed them.
Yeah, they did a full wraparound on the right-hand side, which was clever because they didn't have quite the same dive that Noobs has, so they just took the long, safe way around.
And it looks like it's working out for them. Lagby said they're already dropping Grifflet, a pairing that you don't see very often. Now it's just up to Light here. He needs to focus down the supports really. It actually looks like they're getting pushed off completely off the point. Lagby's dropping another there. DPS Lucio, here we go. And it looks like, I mean, that worked out perfectly for them. They were able to take the high ground, and as soon as they had the high ground, they were ready to drop down onto the point.
Yeah, very smart rotation coming out from damage control there. As I said previously, they realized they didn't want to play
dropping
the
another
Noobs game. They didn't want to play that dive because they didn't have the heroes for it, and so they played exactly into the strengths of their composition there, and just took it slowly towards the right into the faces of Noobs, and perfect result. Nice quick first cap for them.
Yeah, and also puts them at quite a nice advantage when it comes to ult. Pac-Man's going to have his ult soon. Such Fab already has McCree ult. Cyberman, I know, is looking at an ult in the face not so long. Whereas when we look at the other side of Noobs, they've got almost nothing. Like a Luke just bringing up Soldier ult, but he doesn't really have anything to combo it with. Grifflet now switching on to Reinhardt, so that's Winston's ult out of the question as well. So, I mean, coming around this corner here, I really do think DC has a very good position here.
Yeah, for sure. And now this is where it gets risky for Noobs because they've just preemptively popped their Transcendent, and now they're going to face the barrage in the Graviton.
Unfortunately, Soldier managed to take out Pharah just before she was able to get her barrage. That nano boosted Soldier doing his job, but it looks like it's not going to be enough here. Z-Lord Zede swinging his hammer. He's got Sheep stuck in a corner here, and I don't think Sheep's going to be able to make it out of there. And that's a very, very easy second point there. Well played, that's damage control.
Yeah, I could see that happening as I was speaking, and they actually didn't need it. They had such a good combination of ultimates there, and did you see what happened to Nyanfo's Zenyatta there, that he had to pop the Transcendence? Did he think he was going to die?
Sure. I think it was a mistake almost, because just after the Transcendence ended, they tried to nano boost the Soldier, which managed to get the Pharah effect, but it just, I don't know what happened there. I think that might have a little bit of a lack of coordination.
That was key for them to surviving that fight, and they didn't have the right tools to survive after that.
And now, I mean, they're really sitting at an ult disadvantage. Cyberman's ready to come around the corner with Pharah ult. He's still got it up. In fact, you can see he's already setting himself up in the right position to use it. With Light pushed back, I mean, there's little to no one to stop him from coming in now. He's playing actually a very interesting position here, way out of the way of his team. Sitting in the back lines almost. I would say almost cautious, but here he comes in now. Well, actually, no, I take that back. He's not going in. There he comes. And here comes the Pharah ult, taking out NLT as well as the McCree there. Nyanfo managing to pick him up in the end. And here comes Nyanfo's ult, keeping just Grifflet alive as Grifflet managed to get the fantastic hammer down. But I don't know if it's going to be enough because he does have the Zarya sitting on his back. Although, I mean, Zenyatta's healing doing... Well, it would seem like enough. Unfortunately, missing that charge there.
Yeah, Dark left all alone there towards the end. He had no support. The rest of his team said, no, we want to back out, and not enough DPS coming out there. His charge just wasn't quite good enough to get a solo pick off.
Talking about DPS, we have scopeZ on the Lucio way into enemy lines there. And he has managed to retreat back into his team now. Perfect timing to drop the beat into the Zarya ult. Managing to get out of the way of that as Z-Lord now hit with a nano boost. He managed to take out Grifflet. Now heading for a fantastic charge as Nyanfo manages to shut him down. The aim of Nyanfo absolutely fantastic here, shutting down Dark as well. He's now got the Lucio in his sights. He needs to eliminate SuchFab, and SuchFab taken down there by Light. Another very, very clean engagement there. And Nyanfo is now sitting with his ult again. So, I mean, we have seen him use his ult twice in almost scenarios where I think it wouldn't be useful. But the fact that he can charge it back so quickly means, why not almost?
I was a bit worried for a second there about the Noobs engagement there, because they had the Graviton off and Grifflet of course then getting a nice charge through to remove the shield out of the way so that they could get the DPS in, but then the DPS follow-up was rather slow, which was kind of a strange one to me, but fortunately, you know, they had the ultimates to back it up. This time around, they're going into a fight with an ultimate disadvantage, so they got to be wary.
And here comes the high noon from Light, managing to actually get no one, as it looks like SuchFab managed to flashbang him just in time, hitting a fantastic headshot there onto Sheep. It's now just Soldier left alive on the point to defend this, and this could be what they need to get it around the corners. SuchFab ready for his high noon now as they come out. I'm pretty sure he's going to be wanting to set up for that, and it looks like he is going up onto the high ground, getting behind NLT, denying those Ana grenades, although it looks like Nyanfo, he gets caught up by Grifflet. An amazing charge there, followed up by the hammer down. Cyberman getting picked up there by Light, as well as scopeZ, and that looks like exactly what they need to hold this push another time.
Was that an amazing charge, or did he get lucky there? I'm not quite sure, but
I think it was a little bit of both. Light pushing way back into enemy lines here, almost whittling down the Ana, but unfortunately not finishing her off. That would have been a nice delay to delay that spawn.
Yeah, so let's see if DC choose to bring out the Electric Cowboy in this next engagement, or if they opt to put the ultimate over onto Cyberman again with that tactical visor. But at the very least, Noobs this time, they do have the Graviton almost to work with, as well as the mana boost of their own.
SuchFab is really struggling to find a space here to use his ult, as he's just getting followed there. The Tracer and Soldier both on him, rendering him unable to use his ult. As here he comes around now. Now would be the perfect time to pop in, and here he does. He sees one, he sees two, unfortunately catching no one because the Graviton got in the way. He now needs to make sure that Grifflet dies before he takes out his teammates. A fantastic shot there. And another ult there by Nyanfo. I mean, he's using these Zen ults almost every second now. As SuchFab gets finished up there by Light. Now just Grifflet swinging madly on the point, and looks like they're going to manage to get it over. So I'm not actually quite sure what happened there in that last fight. A huge amount went down in a short space of time. There were a lot of ults popped and a lot of people dying. But it looks like DC just came out on the upper hand.
Yeah, DC had a bit of an unorthodox pushing position there, going around the right-hand side of that little tree pillar area, which I haven't seen before too many times, with sort of like your whole team, where your Reinhardt goes there as well. And I think Noobs just allowing DC in that push there to gain a little bit too much ground. And after that happened, they started to spread out and take engagements all around the payload, and the Graviton at that stage was pretty ineffective. You would wanted to probably have used it earlier in the fight. So yeah, I initially thought that DC were going to struggle on the opening section of this map, but managing to push all the way with a little bit of time to spare.
Yeah, I know, especially that interesting wraparound technique they used. It's not something I think I may have seen it once in an Apex game or something, but definitely not something I've ever seen a local team do. And watching it actually in process was really interesting. I liked the way they came up through the side. And I'd be interested to see now what Noobs' take is coming into this first point. Are they going to go for the standard where you just walk up the stairs and you take the high ground on the right side, or are they going to try something interesting like Damage Control did?
I imagine this composition is probably going to want to pretty much just push down the center and jump onto the first squishy target they can find. Grifflet and Light, we know they're going to be wanting to work together with that Winston-NG combination. And I think the aim of the game for them is to create as much chaos jumping into the back line as possible, and then just create a lot of room for like a Luke's Farah to get really stuck in there.
Yeah, I must agree. I mean, you can see a triple DPS coming into here. They're not even going to bother with the high ground. They just want to put as much damage as they can. Actually, now we're looking at Sheep taking a very interesting route. He's going to be there to distract Z-Lord, get the tanks off. He's joined by his DPS Lucio at his side. And that's already one down there. It's a fantastic shot there by SuchFab. Although now they're very much cornered between the DPS players, although it looks like they might just make it through. Genji getting pushed back, pushed off the high ground. In fact, Light having to fully retreat here. SuchFab hitting an amazing shot, unfortunately just missing that hook onto Grifflet. But SuchFab aim on point today. I can see Dark Magician as well, complementing his McCree. SuchFab has hit some fantastic shots now. And seeing him on this Roadhog.
Yeah, he's getting very stuck in there with that Roadhog. Those right clicks have been super accurate. Just missing two of the Noobs players right off the bat in that engagement, and really nothing more they can do. And it's an interesting holding position, a really quite difficult for this Noobs lineup to deal with, because they want to jump onto...
Oh my goodness, the massive hook there by SuchFab to start that fight. He's now looking for a right click onto Light. Light just making it out there with Deflect. It looks like SuchFab's going to get shot down by the Winston now, jumping onto him, as well as Zenyatta doing as much damage as he can in the background now. Dark dropping onto the high ground, what is he actually doing? Dropping onto the high and low ground there, as here comes the Zenyatta ult for Nyanfer. I mean, it looks like he almost always has this Nyanfer ult. I think the 9 for ult. Zenyatta ult up, as it looks like this is going to be the push they need. Clearing everyone up. It's just Dark left alive on the point now. Farah managed to finish him off. Light as well, doing his job. And with that, I think this is a very, very easy first point capture. So what did they change there? What did they do differently? Or was it just the fact that they had ults to work in is what they got that point with?
Well, I don't want to say that they necessarily made a mistake there, the DC and the defense, but I'm wondering, did they get booped off the edge there, or did they get baited into dropping off? Because I don't think they would have necessarily gotten baited. They had a great position.
I believe they got dropped off, and I mean, talking about dropping off now, this Farah ult was dropped off on top of them, finishing off two, like Luke getting an amazing triple kill there. He's now looking for Z-Lord ZA, finishing him off as well. Dark left alone in the background there, tries to retreat, although he gets booped back in, and Lagby ZA, you're gonna have to say goodbye. It's Like Luke again. I mean, this is now 5 for Like Luke. He's looking for his 6th kill. He's looking for the team wipe. And Dark, very, very delayed on the spawn there, and that's going to be fantastic for the side of Noobs here. They're going to quite easily, I think, push it up to the second point here.
Yeah, now is where their composition really comes to life, when the map starts to open up in the street phase and they have a lot more room to work with this very mobile composition. And I was going to say that from the last point, sort of continuing there, as soon as the meat shields got broken up, Noobs got right in there.
Unfortunately, D.Va ult not catching anybody. Although SuchFab right in the way of the side of Noobs here, as he manages to land a fantastic hook on Farah. They're finishing it off, but it's not going to be enough as they manage to get that point. And now Noobs defending very, very, very close to
they're not there. They're not there.
Oh, they're not there. Oh my goodness, they're not there. Sorry.
It was 0.5 meters.
Oh my goodness, that was clutch.
Yeah, it was a last second save.
Although they did have to use 3 ults to get that, and now Nyanfer again having his ult up, as well as Light on the Genji. So we could be seeing, I wouldn't expect to see Nyanfer ult as an attacking ult, although we could be seeing something like maybe a Lucio ult followed by the Genji ult, and never mind, here comes the ult from Nyanfer. Seconds too late then, able to keep the Reinhardt alive, as Sheep there throws his Pulse Bomb out. Light managing to pick up 2 as he gets taken down by Z-Lord. And now it's just NLT left alone on the point. He needs to push the Dark off. He needs to push the Reinhardt off as he manages to actually get Dark. It's now Z-Lord ZA's turn to meet the DPS Lucio. Like a Luke raining justice from above, and that looks like the push they needed.
Yeah, unfortunately their support players got wiped out in the previous engagement, so they really had no sustain there left, and against the Farah barrage, you not going to do too well as a Reinhardt.
No, unfortunately not. And it's interesting to see Sheep has stayed on this Tracer. I mean, we've seen a triple DPS throughout the entire game. And you can see what he's doing, and he's doing it to a great effect. He's getting behind them, and as he managed to very, very nicely warp out of that flashbang, and he's saying, I'm not going to get caught by that. Cyberman now meeting Sheep's pistols. He needs to get out of the way. There's a fantastic charge by Grifflet, catches 2, followed up by the hammer down there, but I believe that was from the enemy Reinhardt. Z-Lord ZA now swinging his hammer. He's going to try and manage to get this. Lucio, yes he does. Lucio goes down. Such Fab taking out 9 in the background. And like a Luke, they're managing to take out Z-Lord ZA, but I don't think it's going to be enough as they're going to be forced to retreat now.
Yeah, good Earth Shatter from Grifflet to start off that engagement with an even better counter Earth Shatter coming out from Z-Lord. So nice, just biding his time there, waiting for the Noobs team to come in. But you can see Noobs are still pretty confident. The fact that they haven't changed up too much. They changed off the Winston, of course, and the opted for the Zarya to stick with it.
Yeah, and now the Zarya coming in. Dark managing to catch 2 out of the background there. Sheep looks like he's going to finish off the thing. Genji as well, light swinging his sword as much as he can. Although he was slept, a fantastic sleep dart actually by Ana. I don't know how they didn't manage to finish him off though. This point is still being contested. I would say that Light probably has the ability to sustain and hold this. The Rocket Barrage coming in, like a Luke finishing off 2. Dark managing to finish off like a Luke, but I don't know if it's just going to be enough. Light going absolute ham with these dashes. A fantastic play there at the end there. I almost thought that they didn't have that, especially with Light sleeping and just Lucio left alive, but it looked like they did enough. Or Light did enough work, followed up by Lucio just holding onto the payload to finish that off there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, DC just weren't hitting their shots towards the end there. I was spectating their DPS players, and they were just struggling to finish off the targets and missing some easy shots, which is unfortunate, and put them under a lot of pressure. Sorry, and really against a team that's so dive heavy and so DPS centric from Noobs, if you don't take those opportunities, you're going to get punished. And yeah. A bit of a sloppy end to the map, but let's see now. They did fairly well last time, but now Noobs have learned from their mistakes seemingly on their first defensive round. They've changed things up quite a bit.
Yeah, Nyan for now playing tank. Sheep onto the Ana, which is a slightly different setup for them. It's normally you see Sheep on something like Zarya.
Yeah, so a much more static lineup coming out from them now. They probably thinking that if DC choose to go a similar sort of composition as last time, which they are going for, then they're going to be able to match them head on head.
Yeah, I agree, and it looks like that's exactly what we're gonna be seeing coming out here. Although actually, yeah, they in place now to prevent them from coming up onto the high ground. Although it looks, I don't know if Nine has quite realized this, but they're walking right beneath them. Now onto the point now, they're not quite sure how to do this. A Pharaoh boop would be absolutely perfect here, although there unfortunately isn't a Pharaoh for either side. Griffler deciding to just get stuck in there.
The Genji.
Swinging his hammer, gets stuck.
Not the Genji, the Lucio. I was waiting for the Lucio to run around and boop them all off there, but he was in the wrong position.
Yeah, although it looks like they have managed to hold this. Such Fab now, unfortunately, meeting the hammer once again, and it's just Grifflet. Is he going to land the charge? Is he going to land the charge? Unfortunately, it wasn't to land the charge, but it was close enough. Such Fab getting taken down, and that looks like they're not going to be able to take this point. So now, for those of you who don't fully understand what happens, the side now of Noobs have 2 minutes and 7 seconds to take the point, because 2 minutes and 7 seconds is what they had left over. And if they take first point, they've won the first map.
Yeah, so they got that slight boost because DC, I believe, got 13 extra seconds. They pushed up to that minute. So yeah, 2 minutes and 7 seconds for this attack. And they did it, I believe, in less time than before, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
They did struggle with the initial push going up against such Fab's Roadhog, but they
definitely
are seemingly thinking they can do it better this time around because they're going for the exact same composition to start things off. And it is a dive composition, but it doesn't have the Lucio, so it's going to be kind of obvious as to when they're pushing in. and DC this time looks like they've just pretty much swapped out that Diva for the Winston. So the Winston is going to be quite nice actually to deal with the aggression that's coming out their way, where you can just pretty much just bubble your supports and help them out on any dives.
Yeah, but I can see how this would work. I mean, this is we've seen them do it before, so it's all about the way they go into this. They need to get an early pick. As soon as they have it, Tracer's going to dash onto the point, followed up by Genji. And once they have that sorted, I mean, they're almost guaranteed a capture unless somebody makes a catastrophic mistake. Such Fab getting knocked onto the low ground here. He's got the monkey in his sights. He wants to get a nice headshot onto him, although Winston Shields managing to block that as he gets a huge hook onto Grifflet. Almost shutting him down, but the Ana Grenade coming in just in time. But now Such Fab's going to remain in this corridor. He's going to try to prevent anyone else from coming through. He's got Zenyatta in his sights, unfortunately just missing that hook. And with Like a Luke falling off the edge, Dark managing to take out Grifflet. Although, like I said, as soon as Tracer is able to get a pick, Genji can get in on the point as well. And this looks like it might just be what they need. Tracer does have her bomb as she manages to throw that at Soldier. And that looks like a fantastic capture there.
A bit unfortunate there for Lagbeast at the end, trying to deal with Tracer's blink, but just taking himself out. And this is the last stand, unfortunately, for DC, and they fell into the trap of Noobs. Noobs had everything go their way that attacking round. They got what they wanted. They split up DC so well, and it was sort of a disarray of defensive line. I don't really know what else to call it. They fell into the trap, man.
Unfortunately, yeah, but nevertheless, a very, very well-played game from both teams. A very, very close game, in fact. I wouldn't have, especially after the first, when they both got pushes, I wouldn't have said either team had the advantage going into this. It just looks like, with Such Fab getting taken down early, I mean, you can just see Sheep absolutely raining mayhem on this, charging her ult very, very, very quickly. Less than 45 seconds to charge a Tracer ult there on first point. And by doing so, you know, just absolutely cleaning up.
Epic.
Yeah, they were given that opportunity by the fact that all of DC were on the majority of them were forced to the lower ground, and just basically became targets for working up the ultimates, like you said.
Yeah. And the next map we're going into, I believe, was
King's Row is next.
King's Row. Alright. So King's Row, a very, very standard map. Now, this is one that we've definitely seen both teams on. And it's almost similar-ish to Numbani, other than the fact that the first point can go a little bit quicker, I think. Just due to how close the attackers are to it.
Yeah, so I think Noobs is going to probably opt for this similar composition that they've been pulling out so far. They don't really have much reason to change it up at the moment. Their triple DPS is proving really difficult to deal with. They creating so much pressure all over the map, and then you just have Grifflet and Light jumping in there with the Winston and the Genji respectively, and it becomes very difficult to stay coordinated and together when all of that's happening all around you.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's something very, very difficult to deal with, and I think King's Row opts for a little bit more of a static defense. There's not as much high ground necessarily to play with as there is on Mbani, where you have the high ground surrounding the whole point. It's more of a thing that you come in to attack from the high ground as opposed to defending on the high ground. So I mean, we're going to be seeing Reinhardt Wars. I'd be very disappointed if we don't see Reinhardt Wars. We're going to probably be seeing a Zarya. We might even be seeing a Mei. I know I used to play in a team with Nympho, and on defense he used to love playing Mei, especially on this map, because you can wall out that wall out the main entrance and trap people behind you. So that's something we may be seeing, but we've been seeing him a lot on Zenyatta today, so I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks to Zenyatta.
Yeah, for sure. I think damage control more than Noobs tend to opt for these sort of stally lineups on the defensive side of King's Row. They've done the Symmetra before, they've done the Mei, and Such Fab pretty much was exclusively playing Genji and McCree on this. So yeah, there comes the Genji. So I like what they're doing. They have some fairly decent sustain, and it's going to be quite hard to deal with that Pharah. And yeah, okay, I'm going to reserve my comments until we see less of a
Yeah,
lineup from.
there's the May, but I mean, Bastion on attack is not something that, I mean, it works on some maps, maybe Dorado or Route 66, but definitely not on a Hollywood. I don't think Bastion on attack's a option, as it looks like we've got a little tribute here to turrets everywhere in the attackers spawn. A fantastic. We've got the Zenyatta, not the Zenyatta, sorry, the Bastion, the Torbjorn, and as well as the Symmetra turrets lined up here, and I'm pretty sure this is not what they're going to come out the gate with.
I think I should have to work with a street vacuum.
Yeah, I like the fact that DC have at least got some maneuverability now in terms of the Pharah and the D.Va, so they can at least take back that high ground if necessary, where the Anna and the McCree are currently positioned. And a pretty standard composition, in fact, coming out from Noobs.
Yeah, light on the Genji, like before, like you said. And this looks like they're going for the long way around. They're going to take this high ground as opposed to just dashing around the point. Although Lag Beast and Such Fab already set up and ready to intercept this. Lag Beast today trying to fly over, but unfortunately he gets hit by an Ana Sleep Dart, and here they are diving onto Such Fab. Such Fab going down. It's now Lag Beast's turn to be met with the Genji shurikens as well as the dash. Lag Beast getting taken out of his mech, and Sheep as well managing to finish that off. And it looks like, especially now, Farah should be able to run away from this Genji, although she finds herself trapped in a corner there. Light doing an absolutely amazing job of landing these. Another right-click melee combo. Such Fab saying, I've had enough of your Genji, it's my turn to shine. Such Fab coming out, actually managing to clean him up as well. Z-Lord getting slept on the point, and that looks like a halted push. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think they maybe just got in too far.
Yeah, I was about to say that Noobs, they were quite confident initially after those picks on the high ground, and I think they became a little bit undisciplined. They got a little bit too cocky there, and they moved a little bit too far. Griffith with that charge, but now they're trying to set up.
But it doesn't look like they're going to need any setup at all, as Light finishing off 3 there. Leica Luke helping him out for to get the 4th one. Nyanfu as well getting the 6th kill there as the team wipe sound plays over the thing. Now Leica Luke setting up, getting ready. He's got Soldier ult as well, so if they provide any threat to this point now, he's well in position to deal with that. Z-Lord, I think, charging a little bit further than he intended, although luckily he does have the Ana behind him to help him get out of that alive.
Yeah, and once again, it's a case of Light on this Genji just building up ultimate very quickly. They had quite a quick first engagement, and despite the fact that they lost, he already had it early on for that second engagement. And DC are really going to have to be careful the way they spend their ultimates now, especially when they're going up against another stack coming out from Noobs in this next fight.
And here comes Soldier with his ult. Leica Luke picking up 2 there. Lagby's having to run for his life as he gets cleaned up in the back. Leica Luke, in fact, getting all 4 of them in that point there. I think it's just Farah left flying above to do anything, and I don't think it's going to be enough as they managed an excellent street phase here.
Yeah, I barely had time to finish talking about the fact that was heading the way of DC there, and yeah, just great engagement from Leica Luke, and now DC with their backs against the wall in the second point.
Unfortunately, Such Fab was in such a perfect point there to get a fantastic Genji ult, although he was on 30 HP and there was another Genji on his tail. I'm not quite sure what that Graviton there was out of Nyan for only catching 1, but it looks like it's going to be enough anyway. It's just Cyberman again left alive, trying his best to defend this point, as this is going very, very quickly for the side of Noobs.
Yeah, I don't think Nyanfo realized there that his team had been pushed so far back by Grifflet's man mode charge there. He was sort of left all alone there.
And here comes the nano blade. He's swinging his blade as fast as he can as he manages to get in the backline. He's looking for those supports. Sheep going down. Nyanfa, you're next, he says. As Cyberman as well, bringing out the Farah ult. Dealing with 2 there. It looks like they're going to push them all the way back. Just Lucio left alive. Managing to scutter him back, speed boost himself out of there. Such Fab doing an excellent job, comboed there with the Farah ult. I mean, there's not much you can do going like that. I mean, you can try run from the Farah ult, but then you'll just run into a Nano Genji.
Yeah, so looking at it, they've got 2 DPS ultimates to work with now, and let's see how DC choose to engage here, whether Lagbeast is going to be able to stall long enough for them, the rest of this team, to build up the ultimates they need.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked like Light was setting up there for a Genji ult, although Winston managed to dive just onto him in time, finishing him off. Winston actually a great counter to Light's Genji, especially on a person like Lagbeast, a fantastic Winston player. I almost feel that Noobs need to change something here. Like maybe bring out a Pharah or something. I'm not sure, as it looks like that. I'm not quite sure who that's. Zarya. Zarya. There we go. There it comes up. Sorry. The Nanoblade coming out. He managed to clean up Dark, dashing into Z-Lord ZA, finishing him off as well. He's now up onto the high ground. He's looking for that Pharah. He doesn't want her alive. Cyberman getting shut down there, and it looks like Light doing a fantastic job charging straight through such fab as well. Just Winston left alive now. It looks like it's his turn to get countered by Genji, bringing out that thing. And this is just kill after kill after kill here for Light. He's getting right in their way. Z-Lord getting pushed way out of the way. I don't know what happened. I believe it was a charge, but that was exactly what they needed.
Yeah, the charge there coming out from Grifflet at the end. Pretty clutch, because if you think about it, there was 4 players that were about to reinforce the point there for DC, so that's probably bought them quite a few seconds on the clock.
No, that was absolutely fantastic. It also cancelled his hammer down. I mean, if he'd managed to get that, the 4 players would have come in, at least got 2 picks off it, and that could have resulted in a failed push. But what he did there was absolutely fantastic, actually. A beast mode charge. Normally just charging in as Reinhardt isn't the best idea, but Grifflet's showing us if you can do it professionally, then you better do it.
Grifflet's always delivering on those tanks, man.
Now, since the patch, I know this is a little bit off topic, but as a spectator, I don't know if you guys can see on stream, but I can see health packs through walls. I'm not sure if that's intended or if that's a glitch. Because I know...
that is intended, yeah. They were showcasing it with Sombra, especially, the way it would be a buff for her.
Yeah,
so
I can imagine that.
You have
but...
the hack packs. But yeah, I wasn't aware of the fact that it would be for anyone else. Maybe it's just a spectator feature that we haven't noticed yet, that it shows for us.
Yeah, I believe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not sure if it's meant to show for spectators or not. I don't know, but that's not too important. Coming out now, we do have Light on the McCree, Lyca on the Soldier, NLT on the Lucio, Nympho on his Reinhardt, Zarya again, Sheep on the Ana, and Grifflet on the Reinhardt. So, slightly different. There's no projectile. It's all hit scan here for the side of Noobs now. I think they're probably expecting a Pharah to come out, although of course that's not the case.
I'm a bit sad that we don't get to see a Such Fab versus Light McCree matchup.
Yeah, Such Fab opting to take the hog instead, and let's see if he can get some nice hooks out to start this. He's hit with the Ana grenade, rendering his heal useless, as he looks like he's going for Light actually. Light pushed back there a little bit onto the high ground. Such Fab heading on indoors. He wants to take that high ground spot as his own. He doesn't want anyone else up there. Just missing that hook onto Light. I mean, they might not be the same hero, but we might still be seeing that 1v1 you wanted to see.
Yeah, DC doing well here at the start of this engagement. Taking the high ground as well now with Lagbeast on the top there, so he's going to be quite annoying.
Nympho taken down there. Such Fab landing an excellent hook there, cleaning up NLT as well. Light managing to get the drop onto Such Fab, but I mean 1v6 is just never going to work out, and it looks like this unfortunately is going to go in the way of DC here, first point.
Come on, Lagbeast, I know you want to jump down the other side. Man mode.
My goodness, is he doing it? Did Magbeast and Z-Lord do it? They may have just done it. I'm not sure. Grifflet now back on the point. Lagbeast there in his backside, managing to push him back, and here comes the tactical visor, and I believe that's going to be that. Unfortunately, not going to be able to defend that any longer.
Yeah, a bit of a risky move there from Lagbeast, dropping the ultimate. I mean, they caught the Zarya at the end, but you would have expected them to catch her anyway, based on the fact that they had the speed boost there. So
I think it was a little bit.
Of a waste.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he got a little bit caught up in the whole fact that there was a whole team there, and he didn't quite expect him to run away.
That's the only ultimate that they've dropped so far, and all the rest of the heroes are pretty much lining up towards there. So you're gonna get a stack now into this next fight.
And it looks like coming into the second engage here, Lagbeast at A landing fantastic shots there onto the nano boosted Reinhardt, shutting him down. SuchFab doing an excellent job on this Roadhog, pushing them back, and it looks like Nyanfer again caught a little bit out of position. Unfortunately, your bubble's not going to help against the Soldier and a Roadhog, especially a Roadhog as good as SuchFab. And it looks like they're doing almost exactly what Noobs did on this, and they're taking these points very, very well, and they're just using their ultimate advantages to, well, their advantage.
Yeah, Noobs not respecting the fact that they were at a disadvantage in that fight, and now they're choosing to go in just before the end.
Light managing to catch Pac-Man there, although he managed to ult straight into Reinhardt's swing. Dark as well. Lagbeast now bringing it out, and I think that's going to be enough to get it over this line. As you can see it here running forward, I think Sheep there just trying to delay it a little bit, but all he did there was delay his spawn. Oh my goodness, goodbye Grifflet. I got a fantastic angle on that. An excellent hook there by SuchFab, pulling Grifflet off the map now. And it looks like now 6 ults for both teams, and here comes Lagbeast bringing out his Soldier ult. He managed to take out Sheep and as well as that? I'm not quite sure. I think he didn't have quite the team to back him up.
Yeah, this is okay. They're playing pretty loose now. I don't know why they think that one like single picks like this are going to help when they're getting picked off themselves, because it's going to stall their push.
I believe that might have been a mistake. Nano boost as well onto the Soldier instead of the Reinhardt. Although it looks like Lagbeast still able to do work. The Zarya ult coming out here. The other Zarya ult coming out here. I'm not quite sure what's happening anymore. It looks like they're both taking out equal numbers. SuchFab left alone on the point though. It's just like a Luke here, dancing around as best as he can to kind of keep this stalling. And it looks like he actually might do it. He does have his ult as well, as he gets shut down by SuchFab, but just in time there for Sheep as well as the Reinhardt to get on the point. SuchFab hitting amazing hooks, as well as now his ult pushing the defenders way off as he actually, it's his turn to go off the map. And Dark here cleaning up, he's the better Zarya. Unfortunately, Nyanfer going down to him. The Iris coming out as he goes down the hole as well. Everyone's going down the hole tonight.
Is this like a contest between the two teams to see who can get the more classy like kills?
I don't know what's going on anymore. It's like tower defense, honestly. Reinhardt, all he has to do is sit on the point and swing his hammer, and everyone just comes in one by one, but one by one long enough to delay the points.
This looks like it did.
And there we go. Weren't they meant to implement a system that made that not happen anymore?
Well, it only applies to 2CP, so unfortunately not the case here. Yeah, so if it were 2CP, the respawn times would have been rising at a steady rate. But yeah, I was just sitting there shaking my head half the time there because I didn't know what to make. Going for crazy single pickoffs and then everyone trolling each other with the knockoffs and the hooks and what have you.
Yeah.
A good end result for DC. I mean, we thought that Noobs had a pretty solid opening time on with their push, but DC managing to inch by.
Yeah, actually doing it slightly faster than Noobs. They have 3 minutes and 4 seconds left on the clock to take first point, whereas Noobs only have 2 minutes and 46. So not that much, about 15 seconds difference. It looks like they're having a little sit-down session, preparing themselves to do this push. And both teams, I think we saw them do the first point in less than 2 minutes. So I don't think this 2 minutes 46 is going to be too much of an issue going up against a fairly standard comp coming out here from Damage Control. It's more to see what they're going to be able to do with the street phase.
Yeah, I think also exactly the same composition coming out for Noobs and the exact same pushing area as well.
Yeah, it's almost a carbon copy of what happened in the first game. And now all we need to do is Light needs to dash across and take out.
He got it.
There we go, and there it is. SuchFab managing to take out Like a Luke. Light finishing off Lag Beast though, so they're a pick for a pick. Roadhog goes flying. He's joined the Overwatch space program. Cyberman just managing to crouch underneath the Genji stars there. I think that was just lucky there. Light dashing through the snow on a one-horse open sleigh. I'm not quite sure where I was going with that now. Unfortunately, he's going to have to pull out. Such Fab and Dark doing an excellent job as tanks there to finish up everyone else.
So we asked the question whether DC would learn from their mistakes, and while the answer was Such Fab definitely did.
Yeah, and
very sneaky position there, in fact, coming out with his Roadhog. I like that.
No, Such Fab doing a fantastic job on Roadhog here. He's managing to hit these right clicks. Another fantastic right click there onto the Reinhardt. And it looks like Light managing to deflect his shot as he gets slapped there. And here comes the Reinhardt ult. Unfortunately, not anyone actually ended up in that. What happened there? I'm not quite sure what happened. This is very, very sloppy going into this.
Very low HP.
Although we do have Light, who does have his ult up. We might be seeing a 1v6 here, and here it comes. He's got his eyes on Lucio. Lucio, you need to go down first. In fact, Cyberman leading him way out there. In fact, that was a 6-second ult used for just Lucio. Such Fab now ready to hook onto this Genji. And Genji's going to try get around him, and it looks like he manages to avoid that hook. Nyanfer cleaning up Dark, and this looks like what they need to get this first point now. Genji just needs his dash to finish him off. There we go. Z-Lord managing to actually take out Grifflet. Such Fab now popping the what is going on? There's so much going on. There's never a moment to sit still. Nyanfu now, it's your chance to shine. Pushing back, and it looks like Ana's going to get onto the point, finishing off Sheep as well. And with 37 seconds left on the clock, I'm not sure if they can do this.
Cool, I mean, let's not speak too soon. They do have the Graviton, the ultimate team setup, and they could use that to transition into an Earth Shatter. And I mean, DC do have the tools to deal with this, but it all comes down to the positioning now.
And here it comes. They're heading around the fountain on the left side. The Graviton Surge coming out. They just need to break that shield. Grifflet getting caught in his own hammer down, actually. Such Fab finishing him off. Z-Lord ZA as well, picking off Sheep there in the back. And it looks like this is going to be exactly what they need. The Ana doing so much work there to heal through that Soldier ult. They just need to keep jumping onto the point to reset the overtime system, although it doesn't look like it's going to make it enough. Light swinging his sword in the back there, taking out 2. Make it 3 now, but Z-Lord as well, going just as big, swinging his hammer. He says, hammer beats sword any day. What is going on? Grifflet getting taken down, Z-Lord remaining alive, and I think overtime's going to tick down there. That was very close for a couple seconds.
I was really rooting for Grifflet there. He got such a cool charge at the end, and then right into the Earth Shadow. I thought he was going to do it, but not enough reinforcements, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately
perhaps
not.
if Light had waited just 5 more seconds for Grifflet to come in there, they could have used the Earth Shadow in combination with the Dragon Blade. But I mean, yeah, things are always going to get a little bit desperate at that stage when you have 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even 10 seconds left on the clock. They were deep into overtime there when Griffith came swinging the hammer in. And now this is, they've got slightly more time, 3 minutes to work with, and all they need to do is take the first point. And I think in 3 minutes, you probably get about 6 pushes, maybe 2 of those with ults. So, I mean, as long as DC plays the clever game here, I think they're almost guaranteed to take this. But then again, going up against...
Yeah, they're going to go up against the composition that they sort of had themselves when they were defending. So it's going to be risky if you let heroes like Nyanfer, Zarya build up that Graviton. But at the same time, I mean, they have enough to work with themselves if they sort of patient with that tactical visor and Graviton for themselves, get themselves control of the high ground. It's there's no reason why they can't pull it off.
I agree. Z-Lord ZA already sleeping on the job. Fantastic little shot there by Sheep. Is going to give him some nice early ult charge. And it looks like they're doing what is this? They're doing exactly what Noobs did into this. And it looks like Noobs isn't quite set up onto the high ground to deal with it as they want to. Such Fab though, dropping a couple of HP, but he does have his supports with him still to keep him up and alive. And it looks like he's going to be wanting to get some nice shots onto the tanks there, finish them up nice and early. Fantastic grenade getting right into that Noobs composition. Unfortunately, I didn't have the Lucio speed boost to jump over that.
They really love that balcony.
Yeah, it looks like it wasn't quite enough. Grifflet swinging his hammer. He's going to finish off Cyberman. Cyberman unfortunately having to retreat there. Sorry, my headphones giving me a little bit issues there. If there's any sponsors watching and you want to buy me a new pair of headphones, please do. Anyway, Grifflet now, it looks like they've managed to hold.
Okay, so that was very weird for me from DC. I don't know why they were so slow off that balcony. They were sitting there for ages, and then eventually they just sort of got fired upon in mass, and they couldn't really do anything about it.
Do you know what they were doing? They were waiting for Lucio's speed boost so that they could speed boost and jump over the gap, but unfortunately it just didn't come in time. Light and Grifflet now teaming up to get some fantastic kills here. Swinging that hammer, and it looks like he's going to shut down Cyberman there and Lagbeast in the same swing, and that's like the team kills sound coming out there. That's another fantastic hold there by the side of damage control. I mean, Noobs.
Yeah, that's really going to be hurting DC right now. They only got a little bit of over a minute to work with, and they're going to be running into a very heavy ultimate stack for Noobs here. So they're going the more
almost
traditional
5
route
ults
now.
up. Here comes the Zarya ult again, running straight into a Reinhardt hammer down. I think this is the second time that's happened, but it doesn't matter because Light does have his soldier ult. He's going to use it as much as he can onto Dark. He doesn't. It looks like actually Z-Lord and Dark doing a fantastic job there. I didn't realize till now, but Suchcrab has actually switched onto the Roadhog. They're running a triple tank now, which actually is exactly what they needed. That soldier ult just wasn't able to get as much damage onto the various heroes as he wanted to. I don't know what happened there, the camera got a little bit stuck. But it looks like, especially with the ult there from Zarya coming out at the end, it looks like damage control are going to take the second map.
Yeah, very well played by them in that final engagement. They really did all the right things at the right time there. They got grouped up, I think, as 5, even potentially as 6 in that Graviton from Nianfo, but they responded correctly. As the charge came out, they did the counter Earth Shatter. They had the healing coming out from the Soldier 76, and it gave them enough time to work with it. They were able to start rolling themselves, and yeah, just a great end for them to this map. What was looking like a bit of a shaky start works out well for them, and it seems like, as with the case with the match last week in Prem Division between these two teams, we're going to a third map decider.
Yeah, and so far this has been a very, very close series. Every game going into the last second of overtime, every game going into 3 or 4 or 5 points onto each of it. And like they're saying rightly so in chat, I believe Noobs has another game now that they're playing, but it looks like they're not going to quite make it in time, especially if we have another half-an-hour game coming out.
Yeah, when you're going up against another good team, I don't think you can reliably say we're going to finish within an hour.
No, unfortunately not.
But we're jumping right into it. This is the third and final map, guys. Route 66. First map going the way of Noobs. Second map, Kings Row, going the way of DC. So we have a tiebreaker on our hands, and we don't actually get to see very many of those locally, I must say.
No, it's not something that happens often. So it's exciting to see going into this. Both teams going to have to play very, very, very seriously now. It's no longer... it's no longer in the position where Noobs can say, oh, we just have to win this one and we'll win. Well, I mean, actually it is. If Noobs win this one, they'll win. But you know what I mean. It has to be very, very serious coming into this one. We're probably going to be seeing maybe slightly different picks, like coming out on McCree. Likely on the Roadhog as well. An interesting defense hero.
Analogy game a bit rusty there.
Yeah.
But... yeah, they seem to be kind of sticking to what we've been seeing a lot now.
Oops.
With the kind of the stable setup with the Reinhardt and the Hog for both teams, and interestingly using that Soldier 76 quite heavily. I don't actually think the Soldier 76 worked out like super well for DC on attack on Kings Row, but now they opting to go for it again. I think it's just the comfort pick for Beast.
I must say I agree. It's an interesting position they've set themselves up here, Noobs have, around the back of the point. Normally you either see people setting up like right in the way of the front door or up onto the building, the roof of the little diner cafe place, whatever it is. But it looks like Luke's in the perfect position to land a nice hook here onto the soldier as he comes up. Unfortunately, he misses the hook. Lagbeast, though, is going to be chased away there. He doesn't want to be going in against 2 tanks. And here they come now, coming around the corner. I'm not quite sure how you'd engage with something like this. I guess you'd want to just shoot them, I guess. Although here they are dropping down. Luke getting in nicely in behind them. He wants to get a nice shot there onto the Zarya, clean her up. Z-Lord gonna unfortunately drop down now. And Lagbeast managing to stay alive just because he got lucky. I think Luke was expecting him to strafe a little bit there, but he didn't, as he manages to run back to the comfort of his friendly Ana.
Oh man, people are all over the place at the moment. Anna frantically running back towards the cart, but no one is there to help her. Yeah, so I think it was the right call from Noobs, and you were asking about that positioning up the top there, and it's a great way to deal with the space that is created at the start by the attackers with heroes like Genji. Of course, now they might have been expecting such Fab to bring out that Genji, even though he didn't initially. It's very difficult to break because there's not a lot of room to work with to get around that defensive posture, as you can see there.
And as that's happening, Luke going absolutely ham in the background now, and he's ready. Oh no, if they all come into this room, Such Fab just has to pop his ult here. He's going to be able to do so much damage as here it comes. He drops 1, make that 2, and it's going to be 3 in 2 seconds now. Cyberman actually getting pushed out of the way of it. I think Grifflet may have finished him off. So here he comes as he lands the fantastic hook onto the Ana. I thought he got knocked off the map there, but it looks like he just got knocked off that ledge. Luke doing a fantastic job there. I saw as soon as all 6 of them came into that room, you could see he was ready to pop his ult, and I mean, when he did, it just got exactly the worth that he needed.
Yeah, you can't really go up against the Hog through that left-hand doorway the way they are now. I think what would be nice is if they tried to work their way around the gas station and perhaps tried to get the high ground, but yeah.
As here comes a hammer down here from the side of Grifflet, sorry. He managed to get 2, NLT getting 1 as well, and Luke cleaning up in the background there as well. Yet another great hold here. They weren't joking when they said that they're going to play hard this round. Grifflet pushing him into the... I mean, you can just see the way they're so coordinated. You'll have them wrap around and Hog will go the other way to catch them when they're forced backwards, delay the spawns. It's just working out really well here for the side of Noobs.
Yeah, I'm trying to find positives in what's happening for DC right now. There are not many. I think the only thing I can think of is the fact that NLT dropped the sound barrier by the time Noobs had already won that engagement. But at this stage, they're really struggling for map control. That's pretty much what it's coming down to.
And here they come now. This is what they're going to be needing. Lagby said a hit with the nano visor, bringing that out. Light as well, also actually nano boosted there, so it looks like neither of them are actually going to get any kills here. Dark managing to clean up. Lagbeast there, finally getting Light. He's now onto Luke. Luke, you're going to have to run, get your heal up quickly because Lagbeast is right in your face, although he's not going to be able to do enough as he gets quickly picked off. Although now Dark managing to push the payload, Grifflet getting in the way of everyone there, and he does have ulti, although he gets charged way out of position. He manages to throw his hammer down, but I don't know if it's going to be enough there, especially with Such Fab sending out the Justice, raining from above, although here comes Z-Lord's thing, and with that I think it's going to be enough to push this payload along the thing. It took them a while to get it, but when they got it, oh my goodness, they got it great. Like, there was not a moment there where Noobs was able to stop them.
Yeah, I mean, at that point they had to just go in. I think they were fortunate in the sense that Noobs had abandoned their previous position up on the high ground on the left, and they were a bit more spread out, so DC could effectively just speed boost in there and let Lagbeast do his thing.
Luke landing a fantastic hook onto Such Fab, although just unable to finish it off. I don't know quite what happened there. I think he just got lucky. Such Fab did, getting a little bit out of position there when the hook came through. Luke now, you can see they're playing on this rooftop. They're playing to their high ground. And Anna doing a fantastic job of keeping them all alive as well. And looks like Pac-Man now... What on earth happened there? I don't know if anybody can explain that. They both sort of shot forward. The Z-Lord ZA charging through the Roadhog. And now it's just up to Light on the high ground. He does have Tactical Visor. He can pop it out now, which he might actually just do just to finish off Z-Lord, though it doesn't look like he's going to need it. Lagby ZA, though. It's his turn to bring out the Tactical Visor. Nyanfa managing to shield himself, although I'm not sure if it's going to, the shield duration is long enough, as clearly isn't. Sheep going down. Now Grifflet, it's your turn to be met with the Soldier and Farah combo. And with Grifflet falling, I think that's going to be another at least 30 meters onto the payload.
Yeah, once Noobs had lost control of that bridge area with Light up there on the Soldier 76, they didn't really have much more to work with. They were trying to force it the whole time. Oh, this is big.
This is huge. Such Fab getting 4 in the background there into a Graviton Surge. He finishes it off with a nice spray there to show us, I mean, he means business. He's got the Farah Cute Spray. He's done this before. It's just another day, walk in the park for Such Fab here on Farah. Now looking for the Sheep on the Honor. Unfortunately, Sheep's no longer able to 3-shot him. It's now a 4-shot after the recent Honor nerfs.
And I must say, Noobs have been looking a little bit wobbly on the defensive side with...
You say that, but here comes the Graviton Surge. They're getting right in the way. That's 4 down there for the side of Lycalu, getting right nice in there. Such Fab now left on the high ground. He's not much he can do. He needs to get out of there. Lag Beast does manage to take out Light, but I don't think it's going to be enough, and that's going to be a very, very good shutdown there. Nyanfo, excellent use of her Graviton Surge. You can see he got right up there and dropped it at his feet. He wasn't allowing any chance that his... Well, actually, there isn't a Diva, so it wouldn't have been eaten anyway.
Yeah, that was unfortunate timing for me to say the wobbly defense. But what I was going for is that more according to the street phase, and now that we're past that, it's not really relevant anymore. But DC still coming strong at them. Fight the fact that they're wiped.
Yeah, and with the Lucio ult now, I mean, they have the health pool here to just push really, really hard. Farah is able to get right in there. Z-Lord, though, getting maybe a little bit too far, and then Nyanfo doing a fantastic job. You can just see this insane accuracy here, cleaning up Dark. It's now the Lucio's turn to go down next, and they pushed way out there. With 38 seconds left on the clock, can they do it, Scopes?
I mean, they've got the Soldier Tactical Visor, they've got the Barrage almost, they've got the Nano Boost, so potentially, but we'll have to see.
Such Fab getting up in there. He does have his Barrage now. The problem with the Barrage, though, it's not an ult you can use near the payload. So as soon as they go into overtime now, which is what they're going to be going into, they're going to be forced to play on the payload, and I'm not so sure how well a Farah ult works when you're stuck on a payload in a situation like this. Although, I mean, apparently he makes it work. Nope, like I said, this is exactly why it doesn't work. And with that, they're not going to make it to the end.
Barrages himself in the face. Yeah, I think I liked the Farah for the streets phase. Seemed like Noobs really struggled to deal with him there. But going into that final stage where you had the tight corners, going into something like a Roadhog on defense, it was a bit of a risky pick to me. I think they were just feeling a little bit too comfortable with it and running out of time there at the end.
Yeah. It did get to a point where it was a little bit scary. I don't know how I would be able to... I don't know if I would know what to do in a situation like that where... I mean, they would throw themselves at the point and they use all their ults they could, but Noobs just weren't falling. I think it's very much due to NLT playing a fantastic Ana, Sheep keeping them all alive there. I think he was playing Lucio as well. And when you have a strong support lineup as well as the 2 tanks doing a fantastic job, Nyanfo showing us exactly how you should be playing Zarya, it's very, very difficult to do damage.
Are you scared? Are you scared?
Yeah, in those tight areas it seems like the tanks are still reigning supreme. And thankfully now we finally get to see Such Fab on his playmaking McCree.
Yeah, but Light now bringing out the Tracer. It's not a hero we've seen Light on often. It's normally... Isn't it normally Sheep for their team that plays the Tracer? Oh, no, never mind. Looks like he switched on to McCree.
I think
Genji.
they tend to put Sheep on the third DPS when they're running a 3 DPS lineup. But of course, when they're going for the 2 supports, he's obviously going to be the one flexing back to support. And I was about to say, I'm surprised none of them have opted for the Genji yet on Route 66. A great hero to create space on this map, but now we see light coming out of it. And I think it's a good choice because even though he's going up against those 2 DPS players in the form of Soldier and McCree, I think he can do work here in terms of just forcing the heroes off that high ground.
Yeah, and Genji's very, very good at that, the way he can just dash up there and he can do as much damage as he can and then quite easily hop back down. And here you can see he's getting right in the backline. It looks like he's going to take down the Zenyatta. He's now looking for such fab on the McCree, although he managed to whittle him down to almost no HP, but the swinging hammer of scopeZ manages to clean him up, although NLT taking out Dark, he says, what Ana nerfs? I can still do plenty of damage. Grifflet now swinging his hammer, taking out the enemy Reinhardt. And with that, I think they're going to quite easily push it along.
So there you see the difference, especially in terms of composure and I would say even experience of the 2 teams. Noobs having a lot more games under their belt, a lot more high-level games at least. And that's showing in terms of how Noobs did their first point defense relative to how DC has done theirs. So DC a little bit all over the place, and I don't think they were quite settled in those positions, getting picked off quite easily. But now this is a chance where DC really have to shine.
Yeah, and I'm going to be interested here. Are we going to be seeing a Nano Visor or a Nano Blade? My money's on Nano Blade just because of the fact that it can combo so well with Zarya ult. Although it looks like they're not even going to bother comboing it with the Zarya ult. Who actually got Nano Boosted there? Was it Soldier? I think it was Soldier who got cleaned up in the back there. LagBeast now bringing out his attack visor, getting a lot more worth for it as well. Cleaning up 2, make that 3 now as Grifflet's going to fall as he gets meleeed to the face. And just Sheep now left alive and he's going to get chased away.
Much better.
So what actually happened there from the side of Noobs? They used 2 ults and got absolutely nothing from it.
Nyanfo got spooked there a little bit. I think he thought the entire DC team was coming through the doorway there, and he dropped the Graviton, and it pretty much only fought the Rhine, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But with the Transcendence from Cyberman, he was saved, so that nullified the entire Graviton, and then it allowed a lot of space for DC to just pretty much walk onto the point after that.
And now they're going to be stuck in a room with with Dark's ult. He managed to get 3. ZLordZA having to force out of there. A fantastic ult there from Dark, actually.
Yeah, and that's well-timed engagement from ZLord as well to let that happen.
That's another case of one of those heroes you just don't want to be stuck in a room with. We saw Roadhog bring out his ult when everyone else was stuck in the room earlier, and now it's again Zarya's turn. Not Zarya, sorry. Another Graviton getting absolutely no worth there, but this time it's from the side of... Or was it Nympho again? It was Nympho again.
Yeah, it was.
I thought there's no way he could have got his ult back quickly, but I mean, okay, sure. I guess if you're charging your ult quick that fast, then it almost makes it worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say he got no value. They at least got 1 pick to open things off, and it allowed Light to get himself into a good position, and now he has that ultimate to work with, so he pretty much has to wait out this Transcendence and then pop.
That Ana bringing in a nice... Oh, and here's LagBeast now on the high ground. He's going to be able to see a nice couple of people in his sights. Nympho having to run his hardest as he manages to get... Well, as he gets taken down. LagBeast now has Light in his sights. Light finishing up Light very nicely. Such Fab finishing up Sheep. And that's another attempt failed.
Yeah, good stuff coming out from them, and DC did well to just separate there towards the opening stages of the engagement, so Light didn't get very much value out of that Dragon Blade, unfortunately. And he actually reflected at the time of Sludgefab hooking him, and then Sludgefab didn't even end up getting off the shot after that, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah, Sludgefab now, he gets his hook by Light there, shutting him down. Soldier also getting taken down there by Lycaluke, bringing out actually that attack visor, and it's going to be exactly what they need. Lycaluke and actually in a fantastic position way behind them there as he finishes off Reinhardt, and I think this is exactly what they need now. They're going to be pushing it along to the second point.
Okay, so that one fairly basic flank from Lycaluke pretty much just won him that entire phase.
Well, the thing is, the Reinhardt wasn't expecting it. He wasn't turned around. The Roadhog got picked off very early on, I think, by Zenyatta. And I mean, when you're in a point where you just don't have your tanks, it's very, very difficult to deal something like that. And now the score is 2-2. So at this point, it is a draw, I believe. No, does it have to reach the point?
Well, this is pretty much them going for the win now. So
yeah. Griffith getting slapped there, swinging his hammer. Lagby said they managing to clean up in the back, and they're going to get chased off here. Although they still do have 2 minutes to come around this corner. I think that was a little bit of a preemptive attack visor, unfortunately getting no worth. And here comes the Graviton Surge, comboed with a Light ult.
That's going to be it.
And that's going to be exactly what they need. Griffith as well, ulting just for the BM. And with that, we have our winner.
Yeah, just an unfortunate final few series of events there from DC with popping their ultimates at inopportune times, and that Graviton on the edge of that balcony there, they couldn't do anything. Into the Hog ultimate, just absolutely shredding them to pieces.
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah, I like it, Luke. Yeah, this is that nano visor that I said got no worth. Oh no, this was the massive flank actually. This was the fantastic flank. Yeah, this is the fantastic flank. Finishing off the Reinhardt there as well. So now, we did promise that we would bring you guys an exclusive, all-in interview with one of Noobs' players, Grifflet, but I'm just going to chat to him now because I do believe they have another game tonight. I don't want to take all of his time away. So let's just make sure we have that before I can confirm anything.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of rushing off to the next game, so I don't know whether that's going to happen. But while you check what's happening on that side, just final few words. So for those of you who tuned in late or haven't been following the progression of this community shield, this community shield, the winner in fact gets a spot at the LAN championship at the end of the year. So the stakes are pretty high for the first time this year, and this has been the upper bracket semi-final. So the winner goes up against the winner of the Eden and DDC match. I don't know if they've played yet. It doesn't look like they have. So that'll be Noobs. And we are just we're excited to get to see these high quality matches, because for the first time we're sort of seeing the top 4 and top 8 teams in South Africa coming together in one cup. And it's Noobs have just sort of narrowly taken the win in this game against Damage Control. But next up, if they do go up against Eden, which I think everyone will be expecting, then they're going to have to do a lot better in that match to try and grab that first LAN entrance. But yeah, all in all, it's been a solid performance from them.
No, a fantastic performance tonight. It was really, really good games to watch, great games to watch, in fact. And to finish that all up, we actually have Grifflet here. He's given us time. So, Grifflet, if you'd like to say hello, now's your chance.
Hey, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
So we just have a couple questions we're trying to, promote the sort of DGL scene. We're trying to get more people involved. So we had a couple of questions about that, and then also a couple of questions about your game tonight.
Yeah, of course. Shoot away.
Yeah, so we can pretty much start with the game fresh in everyone's minds. A great win coming out for you guys there, 2-1 over Damage Control. How are you guys feeling about the match after the narrow victory last week in Premier Division?
Yeah, I think we're happy to get the win. I guess. I mean, DC played really well tonight. The changes they've made to the rosters really is showing. I mean, they're really bringing the A game. The previous time we also played was also really close. Was the same result as on a 2-1. I felt actually on both sides. Both sides are still making like quite a few crucial errors, and then both teams are capitalizing. But I'm happy we got the win, and well played to DC. I think they played really well tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We're seeing a different sort of team coming out from them now that they have the addition of such Fab in particular to bolster their ranks. But let's also mention the fact that you guys have got a new player on board, Nianfo.
Yeah, Nianfo has recently joined our roster. We probably recruited him about a week ago, and we decided to throw him in the deep end after we had literally played him with one scrim, which was last night. We played a few maps with him, and we just felt he would be a good addition to the team, and that also provides us with a sub. So we will be rotating between him and our previous player, as our previous sub left. Tris Mortis, they started the 9-meter base team again, and I see they're also doing really well. But yeah, we're happy to have Nianfo on board. I mean, he's a really good player. His hit scan is amazing, and he's actually bringing a really nice factor to the team because he's also got a really deep hero pool. I mean, we can throw him on DPS, we can throw him on off tank healer. I mean, he can play them all. So we're really happy to have him also online. Yeah, he's brought some nice strength to our team as well. It just helps with deepening our hero pool.
Yeah, he played a fantastic Zarya tonight.
I was going to just ask, in terms of his sort of flexibility, you guys, we see you like to bring out the 3 DPS compositions every now and then, but when you tend to, it looks like you throw a sheep onto that 3rd DPS role. Is there sort of any plan to mix that up at all in future?
Well, Sheep is also a flex player. I mean, Sheep can pretty much play everything. So he's doing the same as Nianfo at the moment, rotating between off tank, DPS, and healer. And the main thing why we're throwing Sheep back onto the healer is because he's pretty much our main shot caller. So what Sheep's doing basically for us, he's sitting in the back, he's calling out the target, he's calling out where they are. He's basically guiding the team in every fight and where we're going and our comps and so on. So we like to run the Winston with the 3 DPS dive comp. We feel it's really effective. It's just really hard to pull off. I mean, we're not a team like Rogue. I mean, Rogue pulls it off amazingly, and it needs really, really good coordination. So we do like to throw it out there, but it all depends on basically what the enemy team's running, what we're gonna be picking. So we might, like, let's say Nimbani, we'll try it on the first pick. I mean, on the first point. And if we see it's not working, we'll switch off more to a default comp. So we've got our default comp, we've got our dive comp, but we like to switch it up. We like to throw in surprises which the teams don't expect.
Yeah, it's definitely a breath of fresh air from the South African scene, having a team that's mixing it up the way you guys do. And the aggression is certainly exciting to watch from a spectator point of view.
Yeah.
But excitement aside, the odds are you guys are going to be facing off against Eden next. And although it's not going to be the final match of the Community Shield, it's probably going to set the tone for the final few stages and who's going to grab that first spot at the LAN competition. You guys have anything up your sleeves for Eden?
We hope so. I mean, Eden is an amazing team. We all know that they're really hard to play against. I mean, the problem with Eden is you try and get Carnage, then Trips bubbles him. You go to the healers, Trips bubble him. You go for Trips, he's got bubbles. He's got healers that's open. Then there's 20 on McCree, which is also flanking and hitting your healers and stuff. So Eden is a really tricky side to play against. But what we'll do is we do have an idea of how to play against them. We've got an idea of what we want to play against them as well. One thing that we do notice with Eden, they really switch comps. They've got a standard comp which they're playing on the Reinhardt, Zarya, McCree, Genji. I think it's Anna and and Lucio. Then I'm not too sure about the healers or Zen. I know Visions likes his Zen. So we've got an idea of what we want to do against Eden. I think it all comes down to execution. If we can stick to our game plan and execute what we've trained correctly, I think we might be quite a good match for Eden. But like I said, literally is going to all come down to team coordination, synergy, and execution of what we've trained.
Yeah, for sure. Flyers, anything from your side, man?
It's a stupid question. But I want to know, you were talking about surprises on Numbani earlier. What was your guys' initial thoughts when DC came all the way around the back? That was, it's not an attack path I've seen. I don't think I've ever seen before. And it definitely caught you guys by surprise.
Yeah, it caught us by surprise, but we scrimmed against them before in Numbani, so they kind of knew where we were going to sit and what comp we were going to run. So well done to them for countering it, and I think it worked well. I think what pretty much saved them is that the sleep dart, which landed on me actually on my Winston, and then I died instantly, and they just opened up the whole fight for them in that first point. So well done for them. I think it was an interesting strat. I think teams might actually can learn from it, I guess. I mean, a lot of teams might be running a dive defensive composition, setting up on the right, and just climbing into the back line. So that is I think it's a very viable strat, but you need to get that first pick, and they did it. And as you saw, they won that first team fight, and they got the point like that. So well done to them.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And then one more aside. You guys noobs have been around for a long time. I mean, I've casted your games since back in Arena even. What advice would you give to new people looking to start a team or looking to join a team?
I would basically say have fun. Get friends that you enjoy playing with. I started this team with Sheep because me and Sheep were playing a lot together and we synergized well. And then we literally just grew the team from there. I mean, Noobs, yeah, sure, we're a team and we do take it serious, we do train, but at the end of it all, we have fun. We enjoy playing together. When anyone is online, we do group up. We're always playing together. We do fun things like we go do stupid 1v1s against each other, have a good laugh. For warm-up, for example, we'll do 1v1s against each other, or we'll climb into a skirmish and just go wreck each other. So I think it all comes down to having fun with friends. Get people that you like to play with, that you get along with well, you can have a good laugh with. It automatically sets the tone to build up good synergy. And in Overwatch, you need good synergy. You need to have fun with the people. You can't get annoyed with the people because you're going to be talking to them a lot. I mean, we chat 24/7. We chat on Discord. We chat on WhatsApp. We chat in game. We're always talking. We're always laughing. We're always having fun. We're giving each other a lot of shit and everything. So basically, get a few friends, get people that's on the same skill level as what you at, and just grow with it. Train against other teams. Join the ESL Discord server. Get some scrims going, and work out stretch. Watch pro players. Watch the tournaments that goes online. I mean, watch Apex. You learn so much from the Koreans. And just have fun, I think. Just get friends, have fun. And yeah, I think that's the best advice that I can give.
Thank you very, very much. We very, very much appreciate your time here. Congratulations on your win, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for casting. Thanks for taking time out of your personal lives to come and cast our games. And shout out to everybody that's watching. Thanks for you guys also coming and supporting all the teams that's playing. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely, man. Thanks.
And before you go, is there anything else you want to give out a shout out to? Is there anything you need to say?
I think shout out to the spectators. Without them, this coursing won't be viable. So shout out to the spectators who come out, take out of their personal time to come and watch the games. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it was a good game to watch tonight. So hopefully we'll see you all again, and maybe we can even grow more people. Tell your friends, tell your family, come have fun, come have a laugh, come listen to our flares and scopes. I mean, they're not too bad casters.
Hopefully not.
We try.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a community effort. We gotta all help each other out here. We all love Overwatch, and we all just want to have fun with the game and share it amongst each other. So yeah, it's a good message to send out. We got to get more people involved, and but yeah, definitely an exciting one tonight. So yeah, thanks for letting us all be a part of it.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for casting, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Bye. And on that note, I think it's come time to end our cast for tonight. An hour and a half is a long time for a best of three.
Yeah, fairly decent, but a good match. And just before we go, just so you guys are aware, this was round 2 of the Community Shield upper bracket semi-final. Round 3, which will be the I don't know whether that's the upper bracket final or whether it's the lower. I imagine the lower bracket might be first, but either way, the next round is going to be on Monday the 27th, so we've got a little bit of a break. But we will keep you guys posted on the Discord channel, on Facebook, and on Twitter, of course. So, yeah, thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yep, and on that note, we're ready to go. So, cheers, guys. Don't forget to follow either Scopes or I on Facebook, Scopes also on Twitter. We'll post links and whatever. Also, if you have Discord, you need to join our the Discord server. Everything that ever happens in South African Overwatch is all over there, so that's definitely the best place you should head to. And with that, we're ready to go. So goodbye, good night, and we'll see everyone next time.